Hello, everyone. Hey there, true art believers. How are you doing today? It's just another day in paradise, and today we're going to begin by drawing some like crocodile, like dragon, dinosaur characters that I'm making up. I really don't know. They're kind of mixture between like gators and dinosaurs and dragons. I started out with the idea of drawing dinosaurs, but it just never kind of happened. I need to get some more. I keep saying this. I need to get some more. What do you call it? You call it something. You call it source material to work from. Well, anyways, let us begin. Well, good morning, everyone. Let me do a few things as per usual with each one of these live streams. I like to do a little timer action, then I like to turn on some music. Oops. I need to have the music. I need to have the music streaming on my headphones, not on the speakers. That's what happens when I don't. There we go. Speakers are activated. So let's begin by drawing. Let's see here. I want to do one little test here. I got to see that it's streaming on Twitch in the right area because I've been doing it. And talk shows and podcast again. I thought I fixed that. I got to fix that. Anyways, I can't do it today. Right? I can't do it today. Just can't. Just can't do it. So we're just gonna be out of luck. I'm gonna play some cool synth wave, and I'm gonna try to get my drawing out of the. I need to look into how to get my live streams back into the art section, not into talk shows, right? I think that'd be good. Gotta fix my mustache. All right, now let's restart the timer and we're good to go. Bang. Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm back in action. I'm going to doodle some dinosaurs here. Oh, ew. I have all the line works in like various layers. That's not good. Anyways, we'll just do this. That's red. We don't want that. So here we are. We're starting. I think we're starting. Just checking. Okay, everything's in order. Now, time to zoom in. Way. So I'm just playing around with this. I'm trying to play around. Okay. Play around with this dragon character that I'm making up. I think it's more like a gator dragon dinosaur like character. So like what happened, what I'm doing is, if you keep seeing me adjusting the volume thing, is because for some odd reason when I try to adjust on the computer it doesn't work. I have to use the knobs here. Silly Xbox headset. That's what I got to say about that. So I got to do some dinosaurs. It's gonna just play around with hatching, you know. Just get my I'm just warming up for my main drawing. And the problem with, I keep saying that, but I'm really not warming up for my main drawing. The main drawing is a completely different beast. It's like okay, you're going from hatching drawing, like a made up image that you're making up and you're using hatching, to a drawing that is purely value based and not really derived from line. Like there's lines in it, but it's not the same thing. So like, you know, it's just one of those things. It's a different jump, so it'll take me another like 30 minutes to like kind of get acclimated to that new drawing. But it is what it is, and I'll deal with it like I usually do anyways. Yeah, this music feels good. You ever have like music that feels really good? Like it's just like feels really good. No, what I find is there's like certain music that makes me kind of bummed out. Like it's music that I experienced when I was younger, and I was like, it was like music that really brings up a very nostalgic point in my life, and I was like, oh man, things can't get better than that. Like just beautiful moments, right? And like just things where like you didn't have any responsibility, right? That was so amazing. You had no responsibility. You could just like go with your friends and hang out and uh, not worry about the day, like the next day, or like your future in a sense. And perhaps that was a flaw, like a flaw. Like perhaps I should have been more worried. Maybe I should have been more prepared in life. Um, and I don't think it's parents' job to do. It's their job to kind of do that, but like they can't they can't make you. They can't make you prepare for something that you are not ready for. You're not ready to take that step. And some people take longer than others, and unfortunately, it took me a lot longer than others. And I just can only imagine if I had been as near as committed as I am now, I would be like super, super good. Like I'm pretty decent at drawing, but I would be like, oh, so darn good. Like Alex Ross good, or whoever you think is good right now, I'd be as good as them because I would have not been wasting my time, chasing stupid stuff, just doing dumb things every day and like looking for the weekend. I should have been just working and not caring about the weekend, but I was young, dumb, young. What's that song? Young, dumb, young, dumb. Good morning. I tried. Hey, I really did try. I tried to change the channel and I couldn't do it. Like I went online, I did the whole thing, and I did the search thing, and I clicked the art section, and then I thought like, okay, it's done. And then now here I am. I'm back in the talk podcast. The music's really loud. Oh, it's really loud. It's almost too loud. I need to turn that down. I don't know why it's that loud, but it's that loud. I don't know why it's doing that. Well, the music's really loud. I'm going to turn it down some more. There we go. Well, anyway, I tried to do what you said, and it just didn't work out. How are you doing? You doing good? Oops, wrong drawing. So I haven't drawn anything yet, so I need to get back to this. Yeah, so I tried changing the channel so it was in the art section and still in the podcast and talk show. But it is what it is. I'll just deal with it. I'll figure out. I'll have to look into problem solving it a little later on. Just not today. I gotta choose my battles for the day. Tall friend. 06. What's that mean? I don't know what that means. Hello. Is that like someone tagging someone? Someone's tagging someone? Anyways, got to go back and draw my dragon. I just wish I really wish I knew how to set the channel again. I thought I had it done. I did some searching and so forth, and it just didn't want to. None of it wanted to work out. Whoops. None of it worked out. Anyways, I'm just gonna keep on chugging along and see what happens. So the difference between what I'm doing and what you see a lot of people doing is I'm not doing any like filters other than the brush, so it's all kind of like classical drawing techniques, which is like hatching and such, or blending, or doing the actual value transitional tones via hatching and such. So it's a little, it's slower, but you just can't recreate. You can recreate it to some extent. I guess you could recreate it if you were really good at the programs. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing with these programs. I'm just doing what I'm doing. and then hopefully I get better in the process. So so that's what I'm doing. that's my spiel there. Yeah, one of the things I want to get done. So I'd like to get this drawing kind of just to the point where I can go, hey, let's start another head. We'll start another head today or tomorrow. Or I don't want to finish this because it's not going to be finished. It's just like just a sketch, right? This is a little sketch, a little practice run, and something to kind of play around, kind of learn the program. And maybe I might be able to get so good at this that if I get good at like overlaying, like I think it's a technique where you like overlay the color, and then like your gray scale, your gray tones will show through. I'm just imagining that like this is his back or something, and he has his arms. I don't know. That's not an arm. Anyways, give him like just something that looks kind of like the top of a back or a neck. This is something that kind of suggests the form. It doesn't really need it. It's just there as a form. It's not really serving any function other than just to be there. But I guess one of my goals for this week is to get my Twitch channel into the art section, and I tried doing it earlier. I thought I had it, but unfortunately I'm not going to do like test runs where I'm not going to test it, right? I'm not going to go and test it and see, hey, finally it's in there. I'm just going to keep working, and then maybe my test will be done in real time. So like I might spend a moment looking at it and changing a setting and see if that's what I did, what needs to be done. But I'm not gonna worry about it too much, because at least it's being broadcasted somewhere. It's actually being broadcasted like 3 places, so I'm not too worried about it. Oh, like that. Okay. So this using this like there's these brushes. What other brush sets are there? There's bonus chunky charcoal. What's that look like? That's way too dark. I keep going. I think I've done that. Eraser natural edge. That's my what? Oh, but it's still real. Kyle's eraser natural edge, but it still erases a lot. Although I might be able to use it for something. If it was like a softer eraser, Ultimate Pastel Palooza. We got Pastel Palooza. No, we'll just go back to the pencil. So I was just testing out some tools there and seeing what happens. Just wanted to see what they kind of look like. Yeah, so just playing around here. Just doing a little, I don't know. I wish I knew, like, I wish I could give you like the actual reason why this is existing as a piece here, but I really don't have a premise. I started out with, I guess the main things was I started out with like dinosaurs. I thought, hey, I'm going to start doing dinosaurs. And then it turns out dinosaurs are kind of hard to draw. And then they started looking more like dragons and gators, or gator heads. So we're just going to work with that. So it's been a productive morning. One of the things that I typically do, every morning is, probably going to hear me reiterate this over and over again because it's something to talk about, is I typically meditate for 20 minutes every morning or so, mainly to kind of, well, it's like this. I, I'm it's I don't particularly like meditating, and I do things that make me uncomfortable because it makes you stronger, in my opinion, mentally. I think it makes you like a stronger person to do things that make you uncomfortable. So like I typically do it because it makes me incredibly uncomfortable. I don't like doing it, and I get like, it's like, okay, when is it done? Is it done? Are we done yet? Are we done? And it helps with me like be less anxious and all kinds of stuff. But it's also one of those things that I just don't like. I don't particularly like. I don't like doing it. You know, it's not like I go out like, hey, I get to meditate today. Yay, right? I'm not like super enamored over the premise of having to meditate, you know. I'm not like waking up every morning just like jumping, hooray, I'm meditating. No, I'm more like, I gotta focus for like 20 minutes. And another thing that I do in the morning is I take a cold shower. I started doing that. I started going back to doing that. I stopped doing it because they suck. Like they really do. It sucks doing cold showers, man. And now it's just getting worse because the it's getting colder. So like the water's colder now. So it's fall. So like the water's getting colder in the showers. I'm like, oh man, this used to not be this cold. Now it's like really cold. I do not like this, sir. And I do it because one, it wakes me up, so it means I don't have to take coffee and drink coffee, and so it wakes me up. It it's something I don't like doing, and it just helps like the psychology. I think there's some psychology behind it about doing stuff that makes you uncomfortable, or doing stuff that you don't want to do means that you're going to do stuff throughout the day that you know is good for you in the long run. But is there a way to make this? Ooh, I don't know. I'm not going to miss it. A way to make this. I wanted to know if there's a way to make it so the brush pivots with my movements. I don't know. So, anyways, I take those cold showers. I meditate for 20 minutes and I journal for 10. Then I work out. I almost puked today. That was something. I was like, what's happening? Why do I feel like I got to puke? Right? It's like I feel like I got to puke. I was like, this sucks. Like I did. Like I started I was like, oh, I'm getting like lightheaded here. Okay, I just figured that he's got this weird head in the background. I'm like, what's the head look like, right? It's just figured it's kind of like bigger in the back a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, so I worked out, almost puked. Got a little lightheaded, you know. And so here I am. Now I'm at drawing. Feel good. I need to organize my layers better. That's one of the things that I just typically have been really bad at is making these layers more like organize them so that if I ever want to move stuff around, I won't have a problem. Um, but it's been a pretty productive morning. I'm pretty excited about that. Pretty happy that I was able to do all that stuff. And now I'm here. I'm drawing. I'm drawing in my. I'm like in my natural environment, just doodling. And this is fun. I could spend hours just like playing around with this. Not necessarily coloring anything. I'm not really good at coloring, so I try to. That goes with the stain. Not that goes with trying things that are make you uncomfortable. That's why I do those portraits that I get paid to do, is because they make me uncomfortable to do them. Like, and let's just deep down inside, I'm uh, it's not my natural state to kind of do other people's portraits, and it's not my natural state to kind of do portraits like that or spend that amount of time on like, I don't know. It's not my natural state to, I guess, do, what would you call it? It would be like, it would be like, it's not my natural state to kind of do. Let's see. How can I make this that type of portraiture? They make me very uncomfortable, and I do them because they make me uncomfortable. And since someone else, it's someone else's work. It's someone I want someone else has hired me to do those portraits. I want them to look good, or at least look decent enough to give to them. You know, here I can. This is like just for fun. Like I don't have any problems doing these, especially when they're just learning processes. Like they're just giant experiments. You know, so it's just a giant experiment, and I don't mind working on these, especially because I'm just learning. You know, it's just a giant uh, test study. So each one of these is a study, and maybe in the future I'll use it, be able to apply it to something. I don't know. Right now, I'm just having fun while I'm doing it. You know, that's what I think. 4 minutes. Oh man, my fun time's almost over. This one's gonna. What's this thing gonna say? He's gonna say. Let's have him say. We'll get the charcoal. There we go. We'll get the charcoal. And he goes, "Arf." It's like a dog, you know. Arf, 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 arf. Anyways, so I'm just playing around, making just playing around with the hatching and such. What are your thoughts? What do you think of this? You think it's okay? I think it's pretty decent. I think it's okay. It's not like bad or anything, but definitely I definitely would hang it on the fridge. That's what I would do. Is let's hang this on the fridge, Mom. Look what I drew. That's super good, son. That's a really good drawing, son. What is it? Is that a crocodile? No, it's a dragon. It looks like a crocodile, son. Stop it, Mom. This is a beautiful drawing. I spent a lot of time on it. So I'm trying to play around with stuff. So I'm always be experimenting a little bit. Give them like these little blemishes, I guess. Although they look like zits, that's not good. We'll back out and kind of go a little bit less generous with them. See what happens. We kind of do a little bit here. Maybe we do another layer so they're kind of a different spot, like in the back. That reminds me of something I've seen before. We'll just yeah, got nothing to say about. I'm just kind of chilling now. Just kind of in the zone, I guess. Or maybe not. I don't know. Just playing around with like hatching and seeing what kind of ways I can play around with it. You know, seeing what's a good thickness that's apparent. Maybe I thicken up some lines here and some. I don't know. I was trying to make like moss or something coming off his, or like saliva or something coming off his mouth. You know. So that's 5 minutes. That's time. But 1 second, we're gonna open up this file here, and we'll change the music to something more calming. You know, something to kind of get me to think a little bit. You know, some meditation music. I tend to go to meditation music on my portraits, on my animal portraits, because it means it with this type of drawing I don't have to focus so much because this is kind of just for fun. But with like the for some odd reason when I have to do the like the cats and dogs and human portraits, it's just it really it I kind of get lost. Like I get anxious real quick, and that causes me to yeah, I get anxious really quick. I'm gonna go away from here for a second, just kind of play with some eyes for a sec. You know, play with some eyes. Just want to, you know, just do some eyes. Get some eyes over here. So if you notice anything about a lot of my drawings, is I really don't use any special effects. I don't use a lot of effects or anything in most of my drawings. It's all just by hand, and I don't use that that what's it called? It's like the hand adjustment or the line adjustment where you draw a straight line and then it kind of straightens it. You know, I don't do that. I don't do any of that. So it's all kind of looks like it's kind of funny. Um, what if I don't know what I'm doing? All this is kind of like this is all. This is all made up. Yeah, so I don't do any of that stuff, which is a good and bad thing. It means I have a pretty good background in drawing lines, but also means like sometimes it takes me a while to get those perfect lines. I don't know. Maybe I don't watch a lot of other artists draw, so I don't know if they're using some of those autocorrects things, but I have seen it being used in a lot of these portrait artists that I've seen when they draw like a line, like that's way too smooth. Like it looks, it's like they're drawing a line like shh, and it's like that is perfect. And you like I know you have a steady hand, you're an artist, but that looks uh, uh, computer corrected, right? And so I don't do any of that, whatever that means for what it's worth. I'm trying to get it so this feels more like it's in the center. And maybe what if it just gets bigger? Like it's some sort of like fin or nodule or just a knob. It doesn't have to really be anything. I don't know. Still feels like it's not going around the head well. Perhaps I need to erase those two, and when I have to start a whole new, I'm gonna, I'm gonna, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, what's that? Okay, we'll take this line and then, anyways, I'll have to mess with that later. I'm gonna save it, and it's looking pretty good for a cool page. It's like a nice little study page. Like notice how it gets better and better. You know, it just gets a little bit better each time. Like that was the first one. I started getting kind of used to it, and I kind of figured out how to use the soft and hard edges. And then this one was the second one. It's getting a little bit better, and this one was the third one. It's better in some respect, but also maybe not as much detail. But this one's starting to really kind of show it's kind of show that stacking of understanding, you know. And so I'm gonna switch screens to another thing to this, and I'm going to work on this now. All right, get out of Photoshop and let's turn up the music. Okay. All right. Take this cat. Move the cat over. No, we don't want that. We definitely don't want that. Move the cat out of the way. And we're going to work on, what are we going to work on? Let's work on the cheek right here. Yeah, work on that cheek. Zoom in. And let's work on this cheek area for 23 minutes or so, 22 minutes, 20 minutes or so. And I think that'll be that 20 minutes. Then we're going to work on the other cheek area underneath the eye on the other side. And we'll just bounce back and forth. What I need to be mindful of is the I don't know what I got to be mindful of. I got to be mindful of something. So the thing about this is I just gotta be very subtle, sensitive with the hair. I'm trying to make the essence of the hair and not really draw it hair like strand for strand. I really don't want to do that, you know. That's not my goal with this drawing here. I just want to kind of get some neat little flaring elements, you know. So I'm taking color swatches from the cat here to kind of just get those nuances that I'm not getting right now because it's kind of brown, and I'd rather just use. It's easier just to kind of copy the color there and use it as a source. You know, I know people think that's cheating, but you know, maybe through time I'll understand how like the nuances of the black, like the black tones. But like there's like lots of blacks and browns here. There's a lot happening here, and I want to make it as easy as I can so I can just kind of focus on the form of the hair and not necessarily anything else. Like I don't care about like uh, you know, everyone says you're cheating or they might think you're cheating. I'm like, no, I'm doing nothing different than a lot of other people that you see are doing, you know. Or maybe I am. I don't know. Maybe they are pure virtuosos and I'm not. And that's okay. We all have our own. I mean, you want to use the tools that you have. Like, why not? Like, it's there. You're able to. It's available, right? Why not use those tools? We're always like this purist, like, oh, you have to do everything by hand. Oh, it's kind of funny though, like with this thought process, do everything by hand, but no one wants to pay you like as if you're a craftsman. No one wants to pay you as if you've made everything by hand, you know? And so like that kind of sucks too. Like I've been getting some interesting conversations. Uh, I've been getting inquiries about like uh, doing portraits like this, and then they find out like, oh, it's like I'll start. I need 4 to 5 images, and I'll start as soon as you give me you pay for the service. And they're like, never mind. I'm like, listen, this is 10 to 20 hours of work. I'm not going to work. I'm sorry. I wish I could work for free, but you know what? I got a family, right? I got bills to pay. Can't just take 10, 20 hours of my time to draw you a dog and you just say thank you, right? Like it kind of hurts, right? I was like, I just want to be like, go to your work, go to your people that the place that you work. Say, I'll work for free to 10 to 20 hours. I'll work 2 days for free, and go work for 2 days for free at your work, and you'll be like, heck no. Well, there you go. That's the exact same thing, right? You're telling me to take 2 days off and work for free. It's like, listen, I mean, in a perfect world, maybe that'd be it. But right now, we're not in that position, right? We're not Star Trek where we can just better ourselves and there's no need for material things or the material things. There's like we can just pursue things that we love. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. Maybe in the ideal world, right? But uh, yeah, I've had a few of them where they're like, "No, thanks, you're not getting any money from me." I was like, "Hey, that kind of hurts when you say you're not getting any money from me." Like, I didn't. You're the one that inquired. You're the one that contacted me about like whether about getting a cat portrait or a dog portrait done, and then you find out that it's not free. I'm like, what is this? What do you think this is? I don't know. I think I'm getting. You think this is some sort of like, uh, I don't know. Like I'm very interested to find out what people are thinking, right? Like I'm this really curious to why everyone thinks these services are free. Like, because this is a lot of work, and it takes a lot more training than most people understand. Like, you know, and it's just really interesting to think about that, right? Right. I don't know, man. It's one of those days where you're like, what do you think? I can't give you a free service. Like, and in industry standards, my price range is quite cheap comparatively. I'm on the very low side, you know. And I'm sorry you thought that this is some sort of like free service that I'm offering, and I didn't mean to. I But it's not fair for you to think that I give away free work, because it takes time. Basically, you're asking me to take away my time, you know. And it is what it is, right? You know, what are you gonna do, right? You can't fix that mindset. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad, but it's worth a good chuckle, you know. It like there's every artist has that story, like everyone. And if you haven't had that story yet, then you aren't an artist yet, because you have to have at least 4 or 5 of those like requests before, because it means you're good enough that people are gonna like start taking notice of you, but also it means that people they don't value art. Like they don't see it as this is a what's it called? I think it's a fine good, or a like a there's a name for it. A luxury item. It's a luxury goods and services. Like it's not. I mean, you can buy art that's not cheap art, but like you can buy art for a low cost price range, and it still be really good, but you still got to pay for it, right? And low, I mean, within like the 50 to 100 to $200 range, and that's relatively like that's nothing. That is a that is cheap art. That's like a low price range art. Like if you talk about those Banksy and those New York artists that will sell a piece for hundreds or thousands and millions of dollars, like $100 for a high quality portrait is nothing. And you need to like talk to the artist, man. Talk to the artist, and they will. A lot of them are very amicable. They will like, okay, we'll do a payment plan. You pay like $50 or like $25 for the next 4 months, and once you pay those $25, $100, I'll make I'll make your piece for you. You know, they're not Walmarts. You don't do things on layaway anymore. You used to be able to do things on layaway. There used to be a layaway, which is when you pay it off until you pay the item until you paid it in full and you got the item. Not anymore. You have credit, right? But yeah, it's just amazing to think that the amazing to think about that. And I just find it really interesting and hurtful, a little bit of both. It's just one of those things that people just don't understand, and you just gotta inform them. You know, no other job will, very few jobs will you do a service for free, and yet we're expected to do something for free. Like, yeah, but you do it because you love it. Like, yeah, we do love the making the work. That is a given, right? That is a given. Now, we also need to keep the lights on. We also need to buy food. We also need to pay for gas. We have to do a lot of things. And if you think that we can do that with like handing out free work, then I think you need to work for free or something like that. I don't know. Right? You need to work for free and see how it works out. Because I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say after that. I'm trying to. Hmm. I'm trying to think about like how much of this I want to show, and how much is kind of like made up, right? So I'm just adding strands of like whiskers that I think there are whiskers at, where the whiskers are kind of at or something. But yeah, it was just interesting. It was an interesting conversation, and this funny how people view art. You know, they view it. Some people view it as they don't view it. They view it as like a free thing that people give you. It's like, I don't know you. You're not my friend, and I would still charge my friends a little bit. I'd give the friend discount. I've known you. I'm like, listen, I've known you for 10 years. Uh, here's whatever. Or the customer who buys a lot of work, or the patron who buys a lot of work and supports me. Hey, listen, you've uh, you've been there for me. You've helped me out. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a. I'm gonna give you some deals, bro. But people that like just solicit you and then like, hey, give me this free drawing for 40 hours like of your time. What I should have done is like trolled them and like gave them a drawing. Here's your drawing. Like the free drawing surface, like the 5 second, like a drawing that takes as long as the reply. Right? Okay, here you go. And put like derp or something like that. Maybe something like that would be maybe that would be what I need to be doing. I don't know. Yeah, so this is just like this is very new to me. This whole, as I said, I would never use the like the fine hairline bristle thing to this extent, and it's working out good. Since it's like the first time I used it to this level. Like I would use it for like a little bit for eyelashes and a little bit for like some of the whiskers, but I would never use it for like single strand hair randomly, or to this extent. I'd use it very infrequently, is what I'm trying to say. And so I'm getting some experience points by doing this. It's helping me kind of think about different ways of modeling using just a small f- fleck of highlights. You know, and it's making it like it's making it less like the photo and more like a drawing. You know, I'm feeling like more it's becoming more like a drawing as and less like I'm trying to copy the image. And not that I did an okay job of copying it, um, but I don't really want to copy. I want to kind of give it a little bit of flair, and the flair is going to happen when I start using start working on the background. That's my creme de la creme. That's where I get the cool stuff. That's where I get all my cool. That's where I get all the cool work from. Uh, but yeah, I think it's just so funny to see that stuff kind of happen with the people inquiring about work, and then they want free work, and you're like, I'm sorry, I just can't do it. I mean, if I was, I guess if you're like Jim Carrey, where he like he's set, and he's like, I want to start painting, and he starts painting, and people buy his paintings anyways because he's Jim Carrey, and they buy it whether or not he's a good painter. And I was like, I'm Jim Carrey, buy my paintings, and they're like, there you go. Uh, right? If you're a billionaire millionaire, right, and you just decided that you wanted to learn how to paint or learn how to draw, and you just offered your services for free. And regardless, like if you're a millionaire, billionaire, and you're probably already famous to some degree, you'd have people basically asking to get work done from you simply because not because of the work is good, but because you're a millionaire, billionaire. It'd be like the Rock, who the Rock says, you know what, I'm gonna learn how to paint, and he starts painting, and he never is gonna get good at it, right? He never will. Let's just assume that he never gets good at it. People are still gonna want to buy his paintings because it's a painting by the Rock. You know, what was it like? Former President George Bush started painting. I think he's got some paintings in like some museums now, and it's not because of his innate ability to paint. It's because he was the former president, man. He's got that star power. It's like, what was it? I went to like Las Vegas years back, and then there was a uh, a show. They had a show uh, with they had a show with like Anthony Hopkins' work, that actor who played Hannibal Lecter, right? And like the paintings weren't that good. Like there were like these weird looking face paintings, and and guess what? He has a whole show, and his paintings were selling. And it's again, it doesn't matter about how good you are. Like he had that star power, bro. He had that star power pulling him. And okay, I don't want to like bash people. Uh, they weren't. They were interesting paintings, but I don't think they. If a standard like person, nobody like you and me, decided to sell those paintings, we would probably not be able to sell them because we're not Anthony Hopkins. I think his name's Anthony Hopkins. Like just like Jim Carrey. Like if we were just an average person trying to sell the paintings that Jim Carrey was making at the very beginning, I think his paintings have gotten better, but at the very beginning they weren't like, they weren't the best. But like you'd be hard pushed for someone like you and me to be able to sell Jim Carrey's work if if we were just a regular person, just based off like the imagery. you know it's it's just one of those things. Like it's like he has name recognition, just like Charlie D'Amelio, her whatever her name is. Like she's known for like dancing and stuff. She decided to start painting or making like paintings of hearts and stuff, and they could be like absolutely like pitiful paintings. She would still sell them because people would be like, I got a painting from Charlie D, you know, or Kim Kardashian or Kanye. Any of those people could just start painting right now, and people would buy them and make money, and they would make money. simply because they could claim, oh, I got a painting from X. That's something to kind of like, that's a pretty amazing thing. It's like bad and good at the same time. I can't really explain it other than it is what it is, right? You can't. Um, um, yeah, you can't be mad about it. I'm not really mad about it, but what I'm more upset about is the notion from other people thinking that I should do something for free when they wouldn't work for free. How, like, already a lot of artists per hour, like I know some artists that per hour, if you factor in how much they sell their paintings for and how many hours they work on a painting, some of them only make about minimum wage, if that, even if their paintings are thousands of dollars. Because a lot of them, spoiler alert, sell work from galleries, and galleries, spoiler alert, take 50% of the sale, and they have to because they got a brick and mortar spot, right? They have a brick and mortar area, and they have to pay for that brick and mortar, and they also do a lot of the promotions that the artist doesn't do, and they're basically paying for the agency. They're paying for an agent to sell the work for them, so they can spend their time working, and that's part of the agreement, and there's nothing wrong with that. Whoa, that was loud. Okay, quick break. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save that. I'm gonna do a little talking. How you doing today? How you doing? I gotta check some emails right quick. So how are you doing today? I got to shake this protein shake. A little 5-minute break, so I don't want to think about the work. So how are you doing today? Can you hear me? Whoa! I got 3 people on at the same time. I'm super, super lucky. I'm blessed. Watch. Oh no. I didn't shake this enough. So just taking a 4-minute break. So tell me how your day's going. Did you have breakfast? Did you? Who had breakfast? Did you have breakfast? Can you hear me? Could you hear me before? Like far away? Can you hear me? Is this better? Worse? Better? Yeah, so I just need to check some emails. Just want to make sure so people receive their emails. Anyways, I didn't get a response. Anyways, quick little break before I just wanted to. I've been meaning to drink this, but I just haven't had the time because right after I worked out, I went upstairs and just started cracking, So if I get an hour and a half on this done, or an hour, like roughly almost an hour, and it'd be 50 minutes. It'd be about like an hour and 15 minutes. That's better than nothing. Ugh. That's gross, dude. Protein shakes are gross. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I worked on the left side, the top part of the face, right? So I worked on the top part of the face. I'm going to move the picture, and I'm just going to work on like the other bottom half of the face and parts of the bridge of the eyebrow, like the eye there. And then what I'll do is after I do that, like that bridge of that cheek and that bridge of the eyebrow, I'll move up to the forehead and the part where the nose kind of goes, like the bridge of the nose, and then the forehead and the bridge of the nose, and that will be probably the end of my session because that's going to be 25 minutes right there, and another 25 minutes there, and then I'll see how much time I have left. Probably no time. And then next like tomorrow, I'll work on the ears at 25 minutes apiece, and then I'll work on the bottom part of the mouth and probably the nose. Like the nose and the mouth might be together. We'll see. And then the eyes will be done at 25 minutes apiece. The eyes are pretty good. Like they just need to be, they're pretty good right now. They just need to be tightened up a little bit. I need to adjust where the reflections are. The reflections are they're okay. They're not perfect. I think I could correct the angle of the white reflective light there, especially on the top eye, because it's not it's it's in like the right spot, but the angle is not right. So I got to tweak that a little bit. And after I do the eyes, it's looking like I might get this done by Thursday. And oh gosh, unfortunately, it just took me 3 weeks to do this drawing. It just took. I know like any other person could get this done in like 5 hours, and they just do digital work, and I'm not a digital artist. This is something that I've been doing, and I don't know why it took me this long to do this. I think it's probably because the black hair really threw me out. There's not a lot there, and because of the black hair, I was spending my time um, figuring out ways to add those subtle nuances that I was looking for, and I just didn't know how to do it because I'd never drawn a black cat before, and I think when I draw another one, I'll have a little bit better, like a better understanding of how I'm going to go about it. I'll use more browns and grays, um, you know, and I think it'll go faster next time. And part of it has to do with like just like you're busy and you just don't have time to kind of, whoa, that's loud, to okay, it's time to start. So I got to move this. Got to move this face over here. Yeah, we'll do like yeah, do something like right here or something like this. I don't know. We'll just put it right here. I think that'll be sufficient enough. And now we're going to go to so I have two different layers. One's called like the bulky hair details. That's where I kind of like do like these larger brush strokes. And then there's the fine hair details that I use, like the fine, it's like this fine hair brush. And that's what I've been doing throughout. So yeah, we'll just see what happens. I'm learning as I go. It's not all like sunshine and rainbows in my drawing department. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not. You know. And I think what I've learned with like the black cats is like you gotta exaggerate the tones a little bit more. You like the tones that you see and the tones that need to be done. They need to be like a little bit more higher chroma, higher in value, and I think that's helped. You know, just taking the tone and really pushing it to a higher level, because what it does is it creates more of a visual separation between the tones, and you want that separation to kind of show, and that's what creates that neat little contrast that you might be looking for. So that's what I've been kind of learning in this process of working with like drawing this black cat is you gotta really kind of exaggerate the tones more than necessary. And that was something I may have known like a little bit, like, but not to like I may have understood a little bit, but not pursued to the extent that I'm pursuing now. So like I'm definitely adding a higher. increasing the contrast more than I would think is necessary. Or maybe I'm not. I don't know. Maybe it's just right. Maybe it's just the right amount. So I like to spend 25 minutes in each area, and then it just makes it a little bit better, a little bit more concise visually, you know? And that's what it does. I just make it things a little bit more tighter visually. Like I add more details, just little details, not like hyper details where I'm like going so micro where I'm going photorealistic, but like just a little mark here, a little mark there, in hopes that it's gonna enhance the overall image. You know, I'm not looking for this photocopy. I do appreciate people that can literally do that, but like in the end, like, do you want to spend hundreds of hours on a photocopy? Some people do. Like it's only a good photocopy if there's something that is not in the image that is abundantly like particular that is the artist's little like panache, the little touch that they do that isn't in the drawing or isn't in the image, you know. So it's getting to that point. Like I can really see that after this session, it'll be kind of tough. Not the draw, but like I can feel my eyes getting kind of fatigued already, and that's because I'm just like really focusing on these subtle changes and just seeing and kind of thinking about what is what should I be doing, you know? I admire those artists that like everything's so intuitive and they just don't even know, they can't explain how they're doing it because it's like it's like an art like a musician who knows how to who knew how to play the guitar before they even like before like they were never taught, they just like grab the guitar and they're like riffing, you know, like, so I always admire those artists that can do that, but like they just don't know how to talk. They just don't. They I'm not saying they're not bad teachers, but like, uh, I don't know. They have a hard time explaining things, and I have the same thing sometimes. I think part of it because the reason why is I make the impression, I try to express that everything is not black and white. Like there's I try to express that there's multiple ways of doing things when I'm teaching how to draw, teaching other students how to draw, and there's no like correct way. Like there's correct ways, I guess, but like there's no like one's not equally better than the other. I think what matters is the execution, you know. The only way it's better if you execute better than the other person. Like you could have a flawless like the drawing strategy, like the design technique, but you execute it poorly every time, and it's going to show. So like, you know, you just gotta understand that. But everyone thinks everything's like just like black and white. 2 + 2 = 4. It's like this is not math, guys. This is there's a lot more nuances. There's a lot more things kind of at play than just how you view the image that you're seeing. Like, because there's there's a million different ways you can draw this cat, and there's an infinite amount of ways you can draw this cat. You know, some look better than others, is what I'm trying to say, and no way one way is better than the other. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get this perfect mark. But everyone seems to think that there's only one way, and man, that's not true. That's not true at all. You know, we're so accustomed to like Instagram and social media has really catapulted the comic industry and catapulted artists. But it's only it's like catapulted like specific like genre artist, you know? Like specific ones. You know, we're talking like the either like the super academic ones do really well, where you have these beautiful paintings, or the what is it? It's the manga and the comic artist really do well. The super scantily clad women draw artists that draw nothing but hot women, I guess. Would you call it like? Yeah, I've seen those. They do really well. But like the people like you and me, like the average person, not the average artist, but like just the average person, has to work on things because their art may not be as flashy, and so since it's not as flashy, it doesn't appeal to the masses. You know, it's like, oh, cool. It doesn't overstimulate the eyes. It's just like very subtle with its approach. You know, we have to work a little bit more to attract attention, but like it's done a great thing, and I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. Like you should be like, that's amazing. That's an amazing thing. That I always bring this up. It's an amazing thing that you can be this. You can do. You can just do one thing and become make a living off of doing this one thing. Like it used to be comic artist had to make a living off of making comics. Now you can be a freelance artist who just does commissions of comic characters for patrons and make a living doing that. You don't even have to make comics. I don't think, like it used to be you have to make comics. You know? You can just do be a fan artist. Although I do wonder about like fan art. Like I see a lot of people doing fan art, and it's like, is that, I don't know. I wonder about the copyright laws on that, because you see a lot of like with same thing with the same thing with the comic artists that do the commissions, right? Is that like a copyright infringement? I don't even know. Like I think it might be, but like I think Marvel and Disney and all those people, they just like let it be, because the benefit to it is to allowing it is a lot better, because what it does is it opens their market range. You know, they're willing to let a person make a quick buck. I think maybe are willing to let a person make a quick buck doing a commission of like Wolverine, if it brings more people to watch or buy their own merchandise, you know, and I think it does. It brings them, it makes them go to the movies and all that kind of stuff. So now I'm adding a little bitty hair details. I'm not touching this forehead. As I said, I was going to work on the forehead for another 25 minutes. I should probably touch it a little bit so I don't have to work as much on it. But I'm gonna add some little bit of highlights of flecks of hair in areas that I think that might benefit from it, you know. But it's an amazing time, man. It's an amazing time. I think on my last live stream or one of my previous ones, I looked at Marshmallow. He has 46 million followers on YouTube. Like, don't I don't think you understand this. Like, and that's just one person. There's other people that have just as many and are able to, like, that's crazy. Like these young influencers that come in like, oh man, I'm making money. I don't know. Are they making money? They probably are. They have to be. I'd be. They wouldn't be doing it if they weren't making money. They're probably making a quick buck though. They might be sacrificing some morals. I don't know how. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not an expert in that field. Oh no, I speak some maybe truths. I speak a little bit of truth. They're more like opinions though. And I like to preface that, they're they're not really critiques or anything. They're just observations that I like to say that they're really it's a unique time to be here, right? Like it's a unique time, unique New York. It's a unique time to do stuff. Like you can make a living playing games. I remember my mom was talking about that when I was a kid. She's like, games are going to be a sport someday. She told me that, and I was like, you're probably right. I don't think she imagined it to be in that format, but she had an idea that it's going to be a sport. Um, yeah, so just working. I'm going to work a little bit on the forehead. Again, I like to take some of the tones from the photo itself because it shows some of the brown nuances that I'm not seeing. Like to me, I don't see a brown. I see like a dark purple, and I'm close, but I don't see the red. And until I don't see it until I actually make a copy. Like I do a little color swab of it. You know. I was uh I was watching some reviews or like movie reviews on YouTube about the movie Life with that alien that was like that alien that like I don't know what kind of alien it is. It's like a weird alien thing. But anyways, I was looking at the reviews and they were talking about the alien Calvin and such, and it's really interesting to hear about it. But like I was thinking to myself, man, all these like alien movies that they have nowadays, the aliens like they're all invincible, like all the monster movies now, all the characters, they're all invincible. It's like so it's basically just the characters that are in the movie and they are exposed to this alien, they just run away and they're gonna die. They're just gonna die. Like what's the point? Like they can't even fight against them. They try. Um, but like I was remembering like old movies, old like alien movies. They were strong and they were durable and they were they were vastly superior to the human counterparts. But at least they had a chance. They had like some chance of harming it. And in the new movies, it's like you can throw an atomic bomb at it, and it's not going to do anything. It's just going to walk it off. It's going to shrug it off. It's going to be very mad at you. It's going to be mad that you threw that bomb at it, and it's going to be like, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? I'm mad at you. I'm an alien that's mad that you attacked at me with a very powerful weapon, but it didn't do anything to me. It didn't harm me at all. I'm just gonna go kill you now. Like, what? So like, I just don't like those alien movies anymore. There's all the aliens now are just like super powerful and they don't die. They don't ever. You don't even hurt them. You just like, what's the point? What's the point in making a movie with a character that like an antagonist that has no weakness, like a villain that has no weakness? It's like, oh well, you're dead. Like, well, great, that sucks. And I was like, Predator and Alien, they were vastly superior, super strong, acid acid blood, high tech weaponry. Talking about the Predator, but you could harm it. You know, it took a while. You could harm it, like in the movie The Quiet Place. Whatever. I've never seen the movie, but I heard like you can't. They're like invincible. Like the bullets ricochet off them, literally, and nothing harms them. Like I think they used like atomic bombs on them or something like that, or they like napalm. I don't know what they used on in the movie, but they tried their best and they end up losing anyway. I'm like, well, that's great. Make a character that's invincible, essentially, um, and you have to depend on suspense, and I guess that's what they're trying to do. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know, but I don't watch those movies anymore. I just don't have time. Well, I don't watch a lot of movies ever. I watch like a movie a week or two movies a week, maybe. I just don't have time for any of that fun stuff. Um, but like, yeah, I don't know. It's just funny how that works, right? So it's looking pretty good. I'm not too proud of this area, but I got some time. I got like 5 minutes or so. I got like no 4 minutes, and then I'll take another break or something, and then I'm gonna work on the forehead, which will probably segue into the top of the bridge a little bit. I'm just kind of playing around. I'm not at this point with this drawing. I'm just happy that it's turned out okay. I'm not like too upset that it's not gonna be like. I'm not gonna be mad that it just didn't turn out the way that I wanted it. Like, it turned out okay, and it exceeded. At one point, I was really worried about what it was going to look like, but right now, it has exceeded my expectations. So I am happy about that, and I can't be mad. So there is that. It's exceeded my expectations, and so I am pleased with the outcome. And that's it. I'm pleased with the outcome. I got so many of these I got to do. I got like 40 of them. I'm gonna be working on them until like ugh, all year and all the way up till the like mid of next year, maybe, if it keeps going this way. If I keep going this slow, I'm not too mad about it, but I just wish they went faster sometimes. It's not too bad. It's a little messy certain areas. I wish it could be better, but I'm not too upset about it. You know, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Really, what I really just like doing is messing around with the background the most because that's what really makes it kind of fun. I was adding that cool little background. What I need to do, I keep forgetting. Let's do this. We got 1 minute. We're gonna take this little nifty difty strand hair thing. We're gonna have some hair kind of come out of the lines here. It doesn't. It's not gonna really matter in the whole scheme of things because I'm pretty sure a lot of this will be probably kind of covered up with my background because I like to overlap the background on the around the edges of the figure of the face a little bit to kind of have that tension there. But it kind of makes it just roughen up that edge some. I'm not too particularly fond of that. Ooh, that's loud. Right, I'm not really fond of it, but yeah. So that's time for a second. So I'm going to take a brief break for a second. I'm going to save this. I like to save just to make sure. But I'm just adding a little bit of fuzzies there, and then I don't know. Uh, I said I was working on the forehead. I'm going to work on the forehead next in a few moments, and that's what I'm going to do. Working the forehead. Oh, that's not good. I need to shake the bottom. I'm going to drink this, otherwise I'm going to have all this like sediment on the bottom. That's gross. You ever have that? You ever have that when you work? You have a protein shake and you mix it up and then you work on this. You start drinking it and you set it aside for like 30 minutes and then it like starts falling back down to the bottom. I have. Okay. Quick stretch. Get up. All right. So I have this nice. Okay, 3 minutes. Well, we're just gonna start. It's gonna start anyways. Gonna move ahead. I'm just gonna work a little bit. We're gonna take this 3 minutes to kind of work on the area that I kind of neglected or felt that it wasn't as good as it could be. We're gonna. I don't know if that was a good idea. That was a bad idea. Hmm. like over here is kind of a mess. So I don't know what areas I need to be expressing, and I don't think I'm going to solve it. Like I don't think I'm getting kind of lost with the forms, so I don't think it's going to make much of a difference like what I do. So I'm just going to blend it a little bit. It's a little blending. All right, blend that some. Just back out. Look at it upside down and see if it matters. It looks okay, you know? Okay, now we're gonna go to the forehead and see what we can do there. Yeah, we're gonna see what we can do there for 25 minutes. Or until it's almost 9. That's what we'll do. Until it's about 9, that's what we're gonna work on. So around 9 is when I'm gonna call it close to 9. I gotta be somewhere at 9. I maybe gotta be somewhere at 9. I don't know. We'll find out. Ooh, that's loud. I don't know why it does that. So it's turning out pretty good. I'm not upset. I think I've learned quite a bit in this experience with this drawing. It kind of showed me it it not necessarily humbled me, but definitely yes, it did humble me. I I learned a lot, and I'm just gonna say I learned a lot, and then I start drawing again. I do another black cat. I'm like, I haven't learned anything. No, I was kidding the whole time. I never knew. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just barely getting by. I watched the new Jay and Silent Bob movie. I wasn't happy about it. I didn't like it. I think they might have done that on purpose because they were doing this whole like bit about remakes and reboots, and like a reboot is different than a remake. A remake apparently is like they don't care about what the end outcome is. So maybe maybe they just were trying to spoof off that and made a remake. I don't know. So as you can see, I'm just doing small little touches here. Just easy peasy, man. Just just playing around. No worries. Low, low, low volume, you know. Really just probably should move the cat's head a little bit further to the left, just in case I want to get on the other. Yeah, we'll go right there, just because I want to work on the other side. And I'm assuming that when I get to the other side of the brows on the cat, I know that when I work on the eyes for 25 minutes, I probably will touch over the brows a little bit, but I want to make sure that I have that at least available for me to work with some, so that it gets a little bit more TLC, you know? Whew, all right. There's some lines there that I can. We'll have it a little darker. There's some small subtle things, you know, just little things here and there. Really, not really looking for this perfect cat anymore. I'm just looking for this organic hair like quality. You know, a mixture between like fine lines and subtle details and such. I don't know. Yep, it's looking good. It's shaping up. Got I only have 15. I have less than 15 minutes. I want to give myself 10 minutes. Give me 5 minutes to kind of get out of here and get everything set up that I need to get set up. Because I got to go to work. Actually, no, I don't. Not yet. I'm tripping. I was thinking 9 o'clock. It's actually 9:25. I'll finish this out. Yeah, I'll finish this out. I'll just finish the 17 minutes. We'll call it a day. Be happy that I got done, or got my um the allotted time that I was looking for completed. You know, I'll be appreciative of that. So that's something to be thankful for. That helps. I like that. That makes me happy. Yeah. Helps a lot. I think what I'll do is one of these days, like whenever I finish one of these drawings, I'll have a day where I just doodle in my and I'll just doodle and sketch like do one of those pages like I was started like how I started off with that with like the dinosaurs. I think I'll do that because I need a day that I just kind of do something for myself. It's kind of like fun. Not that I don't enjoy these. It's the end outcome I enjoy the most, but like some days, sometimes doing these, it's a very struggling. It's a, it's a process that is it I struggle at every day. You know, I struggle at it often, way more than probably I should. I should be like over this hump of like having to struggle when I draw, but I'm not. I'm like every day is a new type of like battle. Yeah, every day is just like some new thing that I have to deal with, you know? So I'm like putting these little bitty fuzzies here as like a just put them in there because they're going to be blurred out. Not blurred out, but they're going to be covered up to some extent. And I think it just makes it feel more real. But then again, I don't know. They feel too crisp for my liking because they're foggier from afar. But I'm putting one there as a learning experience. Like I'm putting these little scruffs there on purpose. Like I don't think they're a great thing, but I think I need to do it a couple times to really understand what I'm doing wrong. Like, do I blur them? And if so, does that mean I put them on a different layer? I don't know. Stuff I gotta ponder. Maybe I take like the soft brush, the soft eraser. This is the eraser I want to use in Photoshop. I don't know how to I don't know how to make one. Or I don't know where it's at. Where it kind of it still shows it, but it softens up the edges a little bit. So that's what I kind of want to happen. I think that was a good choice. I think I would use like the soft brush on that, but before it was and this whole experience of using this brush, this specific brush that I've been using for a while, I think I've gotten better at using it. I think I've started to understand how to use it a little bit more, so it's helped. So all this drawing has been one giant learning experience for me. So, and I think that's what drawing is. It's a giant learning experience, and we often forget that. No one we always want like this immediate return on our investment, but like It just, unfortunately, for the majority of us, you just don't get that. Some of you do. Some individuals will like only have to work 10% or put 10% amount of the effort, and they'll like have 300% more returns than the average person, and then like that's good for them. Also, it sucks. Good for them, all right? So right now with this, I'm trying to figure out how much contrast. I think that might be a little bit too much contrast, but I thought it might be okay to have it. Like it's not like making it worse. It's not making the drawing worse, right? To have that overly high contrast area. But before it was, I was getting kind of worried about it. Almost hitting the 2 hour mark. Yippee. This drawing is going to be done this week. If it isn't, I'll be very, 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 very upset. I would like something would have to happen for that to not happen. You know, someone would have to like uh someone would have to sorry, I got distracted. I was looking at a to-do list. You know, like I would have to have broken my hand or something really severe like that for me to be like, sorry guys, I can't finish this week. Woo! Oh, right. All right. Wow, 6 minutes. I think I'm gonna go move in into like some fine line hair. You know, just for fun. Let's add a little bit of like Yeah, almost done for the day. This, I think, like 4 minutes. Jeez, it feels like forever. And just such small little things. Just adding little bitty touches here and there and see if that's something that I want to kind of pursue. Something to add a little bit of variety. Like little bitty strands of hair right here in these dark areas might be something to kind of think about. You know, just something to kind of break up the space, even though you don't really see those hairs. I'm just going to assume that you do if you were to like, if you had a really high quality photo, you know? And it's not there. Like those forms are not there, but I'm just doing it for fun, breaking up the space and see what happens. I mean, nothing. It's not like it's making it worse by adding it. Like these little bitty strands of hair here and there. Like it's not making it any worse by doing it. This is how I feel. You know, I think it's all right. I got 2 minutes 32 seconds, and then oh no, we'll see. Let's go to bed. Go back to bed. Yay! I want to go back. I want to go back to bed. How about you? I would definitely take going back to bed. Like just calling it a day. Go back to bed. Take a little afternoon siesta. Right. So I had these little bitty touches of hair that you really can't see. Like there's one right there, one right there, one right there, and one right there, right there. Right. You really can't tell, but I think adding those little flecks of like tone makes it. I don't know. Maybe you don't need to. Maybe you don't need to do any of that. Like I don't think any of it's necessary. Right. It's probably not necessary. It's probably a little bit over the top. Like little bitty hairs here and there. Look right here. And a little bit right here. Oops. This little bitty touches here and there. I think it's a nice. It basically like kind of breaks up the area and it makes it a little bit more interesting to look at when you zoom in, right? But yeah, man, that's. I got 15 more seconds. Maybe do a little bit more. Maybe do some right here in this area. Even though I haven't really worked in this area, I worked right here, but the snout area, the front of the. Ooh, that's loud. Okay, let's zoom out. Let's take a quick gander at it. All right, not bad. I added. All right, so I've worked on the cheeks, the forehead. Now the next will be the ears and the front of the face, and then I'll work specifically on the nose and eyes, and then that'll be it. I think I'll get the ears tomorrow, and then the snout. All right. And when I say ears, I mean more like this area, the area of the ear and top of the eyes and part of the forehead. Same goes on the other side. I'll do the same on the other side. And then I'll do the front of the face. And then I think I'll spend one whole day, one whole session on the eyes and nose, and then I'll spend a whole session on the background, just fiddling around with that. So if it, unfortunately, it's gonna the way things are going, how much time, all the way things are going, and how many areas I'm going to cover at small 25-minute sections. It's going to be uh, it won't be until Friday when I get this done, I think, unless I'm able to sneak in a session tonight this evening and work on the ears alone. Maybe I'll work on the ears tonight and on the snout, and that way I can get basically get ahead of day. I might do that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my live stream. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that came down and took time out of their day to watch me doodle for a couple hours. I wish you a wonderful day. Pierson out.